Alright, hello my beautiful people, welcome back. So today I'm just going to be painting, and it might look a little bit messy and chaotic, but trust me, there's a method to my madness. So this is what I'm working with so far. It was a container of vegan butter because I love that stuff. And I'm a vegetarian, but I'm slowly trying to go vegan. It's a long story. Anyway, this used to have plant butter in it, which is really good and really salty, and I love salty things. Just a regular container. And I come from a family of hoarders, and we keep everything like this. So I'm trying to break free from that. Normally I would throw this away, just in spite of the way I was raised, because I don't like the clutteredness, you know. But look how cute. I mean, like, literally, it's like such a cute little size. It has a perfect fitting lid. I couldn't throw it away. So I finished it all today, or yesterday, I think. Yes, yesterday. And then I washed it really thoroughly today, let it dry, then brought it in here and painted it. And I didn't even think to, bring you guys along. I just wanted to paint it because on my nightstand, which is actually a mini fridge, maybe you shouldn't use that as a nightstand, but I do. I have like a bunch of chapsticks and some like sleep stuff and like just different little, like not exactly cluttery, but little things that you have on a nightstand, right? And they tend to roll off, like the little chopsticks. Like I have some back there too. So I thought this would be perfect. You can even see inside of it. Like holding it back here looks like a white void. Trust me, there's, you can go in. So painted this. It was white and had, I think, like black letters on it. But it wasn't pretty, like it was just like a nutrition label and stuff. So I wanted to do it light pink. And this is definitely a lot darker than I had intended. And then this green is part of the natural label. And then I just did some like white at the top, which if you look closely, it's not done well. Like this very clunky looking, so I want to fix that too. But I was just going to leave it like this and then go and put my chapsticks in it and just set it on my nightstand. But I thought it just looks too plain. And like it's so cute, and I went through this much effort to keep it and jazz it up already, so I figured might as well just pretty it up. And I'm thinking maybe some little flowers or something, like golden and white daisies or something like that. I want to have some gum too. I was going to check. And I have a lot to talk about too. Piercings. I got some new piercings, sourdough bread, and bread mishaps. Which is a long story. Yeah. So I have my big basket here. You can't really see the stuff inside of it, but it's where I keep all my painting supplies. And I'm not like an artist or anything. I just really like crafty things, And I like to paint, but I'm not like professional or anything. And then I have this thing that I got for my birthday when I was like 12 from like, I think my mom got it from Dollar General. I used to have like this zebra phase where everything I owned was zebra or like pink and zebra like this. A very 2000s thing, right? But I now use it as a paint holder. So I have all my little cheap paints in it, and this white one's all empty and squeezed out. That's where I keep the paints, and then I put them in here. And here's like paintbrushes, other paints, oil pastel thingies that don't work very well because they're old, that kind of thing. And then some newspapers, which, as you can see, already have lots and lots of paint on it. And it might not be very aesthetically pleasing, but I love it. And also, oh my gosh, people are gonna hate this. My sister hates it. This is my painting palette, right? It looks normal now. And then you see this, and you're like, what is that monstrosity? Like, there's hardened paints. This is supposed to be hollowed out, but it's like crusted over from old paints. And I know you're not supposed to do this. My sister, every time she sees it, she just loses her mind. She hates it so much. But I love it. This is how my brain works. Just being able to see all these colors out in like places where I've mixed colors, you know, from like years. I just like it, okay? It makes it easier for me instead of just having like say if it was all white. Look at all that. Like, where am I gonna put paint? I feel like I'm ruining it. If I see this mess, just slap it right on top, you know? So I like it. I'm comfortable with that. And I like having places where I can see where each color goes. And I don't have OCD or anything like that. It's just this one particular thing that I am very fond of. And then I use this as my water thingamabobber. And it says it's my birthday month. Pretty sure I got it from Dollar Tree in August, which is my birthday month. And funny thing, so 12 months in a year, right? 11 months of a year, every month except for August. This is my paint thingy, right? But then the month of August is the only month that it applies, that it is my birthday month. So in August I like bleach it and get it all super scrubbed out and clean, no paint in it, and then I use it to drink out of, which might be gross, but you know, I think I cleaned all the paint out. maybe I've been drinking paint all along. That would explain a lot. So I just got a few little brushes out, and I'm horrible about this. This is the white that I used on the top part here, and I forgot to put it in the water. And this pink water from the pink there. I've ruined so many brushes by doing that. And then this thing is literally the lid to a giant Folgers coffee can. And at some point, either me or my sister painted it green, and then she scribbled some stuff on it. Whatever. I just kind of like the look of things being messy. And then this is, I was gonna say from a sock, but it's not. It's from this sweater that I cropped a long time ago, and like that edge, you know, bottom piece that you cut off, this is part of that. I just fold it and use it to dry off the brushes. So none of this is high dollar, none of this is fancy, but it gets the job done, and this is how I like to do it. Trying to get this white out. Oh, and another thing. The way that this feels, like the feeling of the paint on it, is kind of driving me crazy. So I wish I had Mod Podge, like that clear stuff that goes over it and makes it all smooth, but I don't. But I know that I do have, I think I have some clear liquid glue, and I googled it, and apparently you can use some clear liquid glue if you mix it with water and use that as a Mod Podge substitute. So I might try that tonight or tomorrow or something once I've finished the little flowers and let it dry. Oh my goodness, the white is not coming off. And this one still has pink on it. What a great start. Anyway, so I said I was going to talk about piercings and bread while I did this. I just have to let those soak and get out other brushes. Piercings. So a few years ago, when I was at like 16 or 17, I pierced the tops of my ears. I feel like you didn't see it. So not these ones, but it's not even there anymore. Right, like way up here, I I pierced them myself in the bathroom at 2 a.m. Like, don't do that. That's insane. And then I had these ones right here were my first ones that I ever had pierced. And I got those done when I was like 7 years old, I think, by my aunt. But I think she was a piercer or something like that. Like, she knew what she was doing. And then there's nothing here. And then there's this one here, which is new. This one is also new. And this one's new. And then you can't really see it, but I have one tiny one here too that I did myself when I was also 16 or 17. But it's really small, and I love it so much. Anyway, I do not recommend piercing your own ears or anything, but a few nights ago I did it again. So 16 or 17, I done the upper parts. I haven't even started painting yet, oh my goodness. Real quick. I had done the, upper ear parts and had them in for like a couple years, and then I ended up taking them out just because I kept getting my hair stuck in them and it was driving me crazy. So I just took them out and they healed up, but I think you can still kind of see where they were. But then I thought some lower ones would be really cute, like slightly lower than where those were. So I did these two on my own well, I think it was a week ago, about a week ago. And then I also did this one down here. And believe it or not, this one hurt more than the other ones. But I'll have to show you in another video with better lighting, because right now it's like really late and I didn't want to turn on lights or wake anybody up or anything. So there's that. That's really exciting. And then I bought some new jewelry and stuff off of Amazon. So hopefully once they heal, I can pretty them up. Alright, so daisies. I'm thinking like yellow dots all over, and then I add like the little white around as the flowers. Like, would that be cute? I don't want to ruin the pink though. Like on camera it looks really muted, but in person it's a little bit brighter. So I think I'll start with that, just some yellow dots. I have this real yellow. And then this one's a darker one, just called yellow. This one's lighter. I think we'll go with the darker one. That could be fun. But yeah, I don't recommend piercing your own ears, because, if you're not a professional, if it gets infected, that is on you, sis. And I know that, so I would take full responsibility if my ears fell off. But then again, I always cut my own hair. I don't know. I'm a very do-it-yourself type person. It's my cat. Okay. See, as I was saying, I know where to put the yellow. Previously used. Oh, that was a terrible sound. Goodness gracious. Okay, so guess I'll use this one. Just do some little yellow dots. Okay, speaking of bread, that has been my new obsession lately. Homemade bread. Well, that could be cute. It's a little bit more oval than I was wanting, but I can touch it out. There we go. Specifically sourdough bread, because I made bread before, but never made sourdough. So I really wanted to try it, see, if I'm good at it at all or not, or if I enjoy it, or if I like the taste, if I ever get to the point where I get to actually bake a loaf, because the whole thing is you have to make your starter, which takes like a week, and you have to feed it every day. Sounds like a pet. And I'm on day 2 right now of actually having made. It's my cat. Neo! Hey! She knocked a chapstick off with her tail. She does this thing, I know I've talked about it before, where, you know, when a cat gets angry and their tail flips, she doesn't recognize that it's her own tail, and she gets angry at it. So I might have to stop and go calm her down. But this is my day 2 of sourdough, and I already have a lot to share about it. So I watched like a million recipe videos on it, and people are very opinionated on sourdough. They have their way of doing it, and some people like to try to make it as simple as possible, and other people, they are like crazy specific with everything and make it seem really hard, which kind of scares me. So, goodness gracious. I'm gonna go soothe her. I'll be back. Sometimes kitties just need extra love, okay? And that is fine. Crazy cats are valid too. Anyway, so the whole sourdough thing. I watched, so anytime I'm cooking, I'll watch like a million videos on it, or one, and then just wing it. But I like to watch like a bunch of different videos on the same recipe topic. I feel like I just started talking and added way too many dots. Okay, we'll start with that and then we'll do the flowers and go from there. But, when I'm cooking, right, I like to watch a bunch of different videos on the same, you know, recipe or the same type of food, and then just go in the kitchen and wing it and just combine all the recipes into just this one concoction. Nothing crazy, you know, just like basically trying to follow everyone's advice. So, I mean, with sourdough you can't exactly do that because you can't really just follow one, or you should just follow one recipe instead of just trying to wing it, because it's not an easy thing, right? So I found one that I liked, you know, that it seemed easy enough, but then the more videos I watched, the more people were saying to do it this other way. So I kind of combined them. And I might be paying the price, who knows. So the first day, this is my second day with it. I don't know how to measure time. So I got some white. We'll go and make some little petals. These are our daisy, what's the inside part of a flower called? I don't know, but you know what I mean. So I don't know if I like that. Should I make the petals bigger? I think if I make it bigger. I'll have to fiddle with it. There's the cat. I just kind of zoned out. This might be harder than I thought. I was thinking it'd just be flower petals. Oh my goodness. I guess I'll be back again. Now she's having a snack. What a drama queen. So if you hear something, that's her. Anyway, so for the millionth time, let me tell you about this sourdough, right? Hopefully she's not too annoying. But I mean, I don't want to like make her stop eating just because I'm filming. And also like my little paint will dry up if I don't do this now. Anyway, so basically sourdough starter is just flour and water, and you monitor it every day and you add to it every day, from what I've gathered, right? So I followed this one thing, kind of improvised it a bit with the flour and water, put it in this jar, mixed it up, and then put a loose fitting lid on top, because that's what everybody said to do, and then just sat it on the counter for 24 hours. And then the next day, which was today, oh, and also you put like a rubber band around, like, say this is it, and this is where your mixture is. You put like a rubber band here so you can see where it was at when you put it in, because it tends to rise, and you know, you can see how much it's grown. Well, mine was the first day and it didn't grow at all or have any bubbles or anything, which is expected. But I was kind of disappointed. So then what you do, or what I was doing, is for some reason you take out half of, like, you scoop out half of your mixture, and then you add back in the flour and water, like the amount that you added in the first day. And some people, I think, just throw away the half that they scooped out, but you can use it to make like pancakes or muffins and stuff. And I mean, this was my first day, so there wasn't that much to scoop out, so I put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge, and I'll, when I add to it, I'll like make pancakes or something out of it. So I did that, and then I was wondering if like I had set it in a place that was too cold or something, if that was why it wasn't having bubbles or anything yet. And I mean, it was the first day, but I was just excited. So I was, Googling and seeing what I could do, and I read that if you put it in like on a windowsill, which mine's over there, which I did put it, which is why I've been looking over there this whole time. If you put it on a windowsill, and cover it with like a towel or something, that the yeasty stuff in it like grows more bubbles. I don't know. It does the stuff that you want it to do, basically. So I was like, goodness gracious. I feel like I have a human child. Like, she's just a cat, but she is my daughter. She's a handful though. You're a diva. Neil. You're a diva. She's glaring at me, I swear. I love you. Oh, don't glare at me. She's such a drama queen. Well, now she's mad at me. So, put a tea towel over it, put the lid loosely on after I, did the mixture stuff, like mixed it all together, put the band on, showed, where it was at, and then put it next to on my windowsill, which is in practically a jungle. I have so many plants, like, right over there, and I have this bookshelf underneath it. So here's where it gets interesting. So I was painting this and all out here, and then I was gonna do the flowers, and I thought, hey, I could, film this, like, even though it's pretty late. Like, I think that would be fun, and just kind of chit-chat and stuff. That's what we have so far. I have 4 petals on these, but I feel like it's definitely missing. Like, this one looks like it needs one, like, right up there in that corner. So I'll have to do that. But, so I have my microphone, and so I have my blinds up here, and then this wooden shelf that has a bunch of plants on it, right underneath the windowsill, and then this like little bookshelf that also has plants on top of it, and then some books on the shelf down there. And also on the bookshelf I keep my, that was loud sorry, my microphone. Just right down there. So I went to go get that and get this all set up and stuff, and then I realized one of my cactuses was like leaking something, and I was like, what the heck? I didn't understand what was happening. It looked like this white stuff was just pouring out of my cactus, and like I've had it for years and it's never done anything like that. So I was like, what is happening? Like, this poor thing, what did I do to this freaking plant? Turns out it's covered in sourdough starter. So that specific cactus is on that bookshelf, and then the wooden ledge above it that also has plants is where I sat the mason jar thing of my like dough starter stuff. And I guess my jar wasn't big enough or something. I need to take a picture. It looks disgusting because it leaked over the top of the jar, ran down the jar, and now there's just a giant puddle of sticky dough. And also that cactus is, and it's a cactus. Like, how do you clean a cactus? So that sounds like some crazy Reddit question you'd read. Like, does anyone know how to get sourdough starter off of a cactus? Any cleaning tips? Would be greatly appreciated. But I'm just looking at it, and and the towel is still over the top, and like I had the lid on it too, but it said to loosely have the lid on, like you don't want to screw it down tightly. So, oh, because it would explode. Oh, that would make sense. So that's why it's gotta be loose. So apparently I went from day 1, where there was no bubbles or anything, to day 2, where it's in a sunny spot and it's just literally overflowing. So there's that. I feel like everyone who makes bread has funny stories about like when they started, or just any craft really. Like, you have funny stories from when you started and didn't know anything, and this definitely mine. Poor cactus. I feel bad for him. These flowers are not doing what I wanted them to, and I figured this would be easy. Oh wait, hold on, maybe I have a technique going. Just a little dab. Oh, there, I think I figured it out. I like that. See, I overcomplicate things. So those were the main things that I wanted to talk about. Piercing update and sourdough mishaps. Like, I guess I'll have to, like, what am I gonna do tomorrow? I guess I'll have to find a bigger jar, obviously, and then I don't know if I need to add to it again, or like what you're supposed to do in that situation. Oh, this one looks bad. Normally I'm not so critical of like painting stuff. Like, I'm usually really free-spirited with it, but for some reason these flowers, I think it's because I thought they would be so easy, and they're not being easy. Okay, I might have fixed it. I feel like ASMR has so many weird niches within it, and I don't know what you would call any of this chaos, but it's a niche. It's not so bad. Oh, look! Those kind of look like stars. That'd be cute. I love stars. On the movie Tangled, those lanterns. They're not stars, they're lanterns. In the sky, that is just so beautiful. I watch that movie all the time. There we go. Get a little bit more out. Oh, here's something else. So I recently shared with you guys that I ordered some heels online, Am I seeing that? They're thrifted, so they were like really cheap because secondhand, you know. But they were all really pretty, and I love shoes, so I ordered them like not too long ago, but I'm kind of impatient, so it feels like a long time ago. And they told me that they would come yesterday, and then yesterday they never showed up, and I checked the like a tracking number, and it's like, oh, it'll be here the next day by 7 p.m. It never came again, so I should actually probably check that again soon. And I tried to look up if there's any other way to track it, or if it got lost or something, but I don't want to be pushy and like, you know, packages are just late sometimes, but I would like to know if something happened to my poor heels. I'm sure nothing did. I'm sure I'll get them tomorrow and they're just running late. But the past 2 days I've been like, oh, they'll be here when the mail comes, or they'll be here a little bit after the mail like is delivered. Maybe it'll be delivered in some other truck or something. But nope. I'm excited for them. And then in February I'll be getting my first Ipsy makeup bag, which is it's like a monthly subscription where they give you 5 like mini makeups every month from like, I think like name brand stuff, and it also comes in like a little makeup bag, so every month you get a new makeup bag, so that sounds really fun. So this will be my first time trying that out. Hopefully I get some goodies. These are just not looking as cute as I thought. Maybe just because I'm staring at them too much. Because like when I look from afar, like if you look from back here, well, terrible lighting, you can't see it at all. You know, I hate when I watch videos of people just downing the stuff that they do, because I'm not usually ever like that, so I don't know why I'm being so critical of these flowers tonight. You know what? I'm going to change that. I love these flowers. They are beautiful, and I am beautiful, and this is going to take way longer than I thought. But that's fine, because beautiful flowers drawn by beautiful girls can take their time, and that's totally fine. Listen, I just said I was going to be nice about these flowers, but this one that I just did she's looking a little crusty. But I'm not going to be mean to her. It's okay to be crusty. You can still be ugly. You can still be ugly. Oh my gosh. You could still be crusty and not be ugly. Oh, I just done called her ugly. Oh my goodness. Look at that look at that little girl. I just called her ugly. Believe it or not, that's the cutest one out of all these. She's a little lopsided, but like, that looks the most like a flower. And I just called her ugly. I'm so sorry. Goodness gracious. I'm out here attacking cactuses with dough. My cat's throwing a fit. I'm calling flowers ugly. What in the world's going on tonight? Is it a full moon? Hold on, let me check. Because that would explain a lot, actually. Let's see. Oops, I just clicked on an ASMR live stream. No, I didn't. Okay. What was I looking at? Moon. Oh, full moon. Alright, let's see. I don't know. The full moon already passed. Well, that sucks. How did I not know that? Did you hear that? Is my sister awake? I thought I just heard footsteps. This is a school night. She should be asleep. It's not just me. My cat was looking at the door too. I thought she was gonna come in. We could talk about ghosts. Oh my gosh, I love talking about ghosts. Did you hear that? I think that was her. Anyway, maybe I'm going crazy. Let's talk about ghosts. I love ghosts and ghost stories, and if anybody has personal ghost experience, I would love to hear that, because I believe in all of that. I also believe in aliens. Like, I love that stuff. Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of it. I had a vision of like 5 symmetrical petals all around the sides, but they started blurring together, and this is, I kind of like this actually. This is what we're working with now. But like, imagine just like all those flowers all around the whole thing, and I'll do something on the lid and on top. Cats have another snack. And this is kind of a cozy night actually. Oh, and also this, forgot to mention, is not a real fire. It's just a little big candle. And this is, you put like a little real version of these down here, and then like a little wax melt up here, and it melts it. And before I had my like fancy Scentsy, can you see that? No, that's really hot actually. Fancy Scentsy wax melts, I use those all the time, and I went through so many little candles. And believe it or not, I feel like these give the room more scent than the actual like wax melt candle things. Brain freeze. Okay, I should do a video on ghost stories. Oh goodness. Hey, there are no ghosts in here. See, her tail's flipping and she's angry at it. Neil, there are no ghosts in here. Unless there are. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. But this ghost story isn't mine. It is was my grandma's, who sadly passed of breast cancer quite a few years back. Loved her dearly. I think about her every single day. So like how I'm baking today, I learned so many baking things from her. Neil, I'm having a deep moment. Come here. Come cuddle me. Come here. Come cuddle. Come here. She's glaring at me. She's not happy right now. But she had a ghost story that she told me when I was little. Okay. I will be back. Look, I don't want to hear y'all saying I spoil her. Okay. You heard her. She was freaking out about her own tail, and she was distressed. And sometimes when you're upset, you just need your mommy, okay? And maybe she heard me talking about ghost stories. She got a little scared. And that's totally valid. Anyway, so a ghost story that my grandma told me when I was young, it's not a scary one or anything. Well, kind of. Was that she had this. Okay, so my grandma, she is my dad's mom, and she had 3 kids, and my dad was the oldest, and then he had 2 sisters. And so when they all lived in this one house a long time ago, it had hardwood floors, right? And my Nana, she loved a clean house. So, and she told me this story when I was like a little kid, one time when I was little, and I remembered it all these years. So, if I'm telling it wrong, I'm sorry, Nana. This is from my memory. So she had like hardwood floors, right? And she was going to wax those floors. So the kids were all in their rooms and stuff, and her and my grandpa were in theirs. She waxed it, and then I guess like left it on the floor at night or something. Oh, don't you want that? Don't you? Why are you being so naughty tonight? It's not even a full moon. But she made sure that everyone knew there was wax on these floors and you were not to walk on it. So she had the wax on the floors, and everybody was in their rooms at night, and they knew not to walk out because they'd ruin the floors and get wax all over it, whatever. I've never waxed a floor, I don't know how it works. But so then the morning rolls around and she wakes up and is not a happy camper. And apparently there were these giant shoe prints like in the wax or something, like throughout the living room. And she had thought that the kids had gotten one of their dad's like shoes or something, but they're like big shoes. Like she didn't even know where they would have gotten shoes that big, but she thought that they were doing that to be silly, like found some old big shoes or something and then walked around the house with them on just to be turds. They swore up and down that it was not them, and like, well, I'm pretty sure she believed them too. Like they were just earnestly like, we did not do that. We stayed in our rooms. We didn't mess up the floor. We knew you were serious about it. And my grandpa didn't do it either. Like he had no idea. Now that I'm saying the story, I don't know if this was a personal story of hers or if it was a story that one of her friends, don't puke on me, at church or something, I told her. But like, I feel like this was her story because like I remember it so vividly, and I remember seeing it in my head as she was telling me it. But anyway, so they never did figure it out if someone had broken into the house and walked through or what, but I think she had heard from someone else that the house was haunted. Something like that. You know, like how older stories, your memory's not the best, especially when you're younger. Like that sounds like such a cool story, and I wish I remembered it more clearly. But like, even just as vague as I was able to tell you, like that's still pretty cool and scary. Like how do you explain that? No one in the house did it. Just these big shoe prints that are like, messing up your wax floor. That's crazy. Now, I myself, I've never seen a ghost, but I have heard them and felt them, and I'll probably, that's a good idea, I should tell you all about that. Like a ghost story video or something. I'd have to write them down though, because like, if you couldn't tell, telling stories off the top of my head is, I'm way better at writing. So, there's that. This white is starting to dry. I'm gonna have to get some more out. There you go. But like, I love that kind of thing. And like, you probably have met someone in your life who claims to have had a ghost encounter, but I personally have never met someone who truly believes that they had an alien encounter, and I haven't either. Well, not an alien encounter, but I did see, there were like 2 different times in my life where I saw like, I don't say like UFO, but like crazy lights in the sky and like weird. That could be a whole nother story too. And again, I would have to really go back in time in my head and remember it and then write it out and then discuss it that way, because like I have some really good stories, but like just telling them like this, it would not be very coherent and would reduce the quality of the story. Oh my goodness, I'm such a fan of scary stories though. Ghost stories, all that stuff. Like I wish I had, well, I don't wish I had more encounters, because that would probably scare me like really bad. And I already have issues sleeping, so that would probably not be the best, you know? Oh my gosh, and when I was little, like really little, I used to have the worst time at night. Like, oh my gosh, I just felt like I was gonna start tearing up thinking about it. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I was terrified of nighttime. When the sun would go down, I would just feel like this unexplicable terror. And as soon as the sun would come up in the morning, I'd be okay. But then as the sun would start to set at night, I'd just be so scared again. But like all night, and I used to have these awful, awful, awful nightmares all the time, and I still do from time to time. Like they just kind of flare up. Like right now, I'm not having like a nightmare flare up, but I did not too long ago, and they're horrible. But like, I'm 20 now, so like a nightmare or a night terror isn't as bad as it is for like a 5-year-old, like someone who doesn't understand why this is happening. Not that I understand it now, but like, oh my goodness, just thinking, like, I'm old enough now to where I can like logically kind of suss things out, and I'm not scared of the dark anymore, and that's a lot of growth. But and a lot of that, it's like I when I'm trying to think of it right now, like I actively blocked that time in my life from a large portion of my memory. Like that, I was just so afraid. And honestly, that's probably why I love ASMR so much, because when I found it as a teenager, like I've always had nightmares and stuff, and just ASMR is just so calming. I cannot sleep without it every single night. So there's that. There's this one specific nightmare that I'm thinking of, that I had when I was little. And I was laying in bed in my dream. I had these bunk beds in my childhood bedroom, but my little sister always slept in my mom's room. So it was pretty much just my bunk bed. And when I was younger, I slept on the bottom bunk, and when I was older, I slept on the top. But I was sleeping on the bottom of this bunk bed, and then I was asleep in real life, and then in my dream, I was also asleep on the bottom of this bunk bed. And then all of a sudden, there was this man in all black that was masked, and he broke into my room, and the door wasn't ever shut, so he rushed it. Like, he didn't break the door down or anything, he just came in and like was grabbing me to kidnap me, and like it was just all so extremely vivid. I can still see every detail in my head to this day, and I was so young when I had that dream, and like it was just a dream, but like it stuck with me this much. Like feeling his hands on me, feeling him cover my mouth, and my mom's room was like right next to mine, and just trying to scream for her, and just feeling like the terror. And like, I know it doesn't sound that bad, but like in the moment, and when you're that young, and like, what's a kid's worst nightmare, you know, like getting kidnapped? Like, that's what the kids are warned about all of the time. So that was terrifying. Like, thinking about it, like I could, if I actually start trying to visualize it, I would just start crying. It's just not fun. But maybe that's why I love scary stories so much, because like, I don't know, they're never as scary as nightmares. So my little white paint that I squirted out is starting to dry up, but I still have 5 flowers left. And my leg is falling asleep, and she's very tired. So I'll give you another look at it. This is what we have so far. I'm actually kind of digging that. Like, that's pretty cute. And I feel like if I show you in better lighting, or like during the daytime, you can see it better. But like, just imagine this fully painted with little flowers. Got the lid on top. I might write my name on it or something. And just sitting. Got chapstick in it. But then again, I hate the way this feels. Like I said, I wish I had some Mod Podge, because it's just like dusty and dry, and I'm not really a fan of that. But look, I'm remembering to put it in the water. Let's see if that white one from the beginning is soaked better. Yeah, it's starting to come off. Okay. Did I even use these? No, these are just out here. This one's hard as a rock. I am a paintbrush killer. I am like a serial paintbrush killer. Like, it's a problem. Alright, well, thank you guys for coming on this little journey with me. Little painting escapade. Is that a word? And if you have any scary stories, I'd love to hear, or like ghost stories specifically, or any tips on sourdough, or painting tips. I'm just here to chit chat, whatever you want to talk about. I love you, even though you're a drama queen. Alright, well, thank you guys, and I hope you sleep well, and don't make fun of me for my weird painting. Okay. Love you guys.